How's everyone doing, legends? Today, I've got an epic tale for you. The story of a mass collector. In this world, mysterious gates appeared, and with them came adventurers who save humanity from monsters. But our unfortunate hero? He's merely a mass collector, labeled as low-level and powerless, stuck at level 0. Even his own family has no love for him, and his life is one of endless struggle. But suddenly, his whole life changes, and he gains incredible strength. His fate is transformed in the most unexpected way. The city stood under a clear sky, the sun shining over its towering buildings. Yet, amidst the peaceful view, a certain unease lingered. In the ruins of a crumbling structure, a large glowing portal crackled with energy. The label above read, "Sea Level Abyss." One solitary figure stood at its entrance, gazing into its swirling depths without hesitation. Lightning crackled as a shadowed silhouette emerged from the portal, shrouded in a blinding blue glow. The figure took a steady step forward, unfazed by the collapsing debris around him. "My name is Qing," the man declared, his voice calm yet firm, as he leapt from the portal into action. A monstrous creature with numerous tentacles lashed out, but Qing's movements were quick and precise. The creature roared in anger, its tentacles smashing against the ground, but Qing swiftly dodged the attacks, leading it further away from the portal. The air echoed with the sounds of their battle. Kneeling down, Qing opened a box filled with glowing crystals. "My daily work is to collect and classify the trash left by adventurer teams," he muttered, his hands carefully sorting through the contents. His gaze darkened as he examined a particularly valuable crystal. Because the Abyss administrators never allow resources to flow to ordinary people. After all, this sea-gray crystal is worth more than 50,000 yuan each. Suddenly, a voice interrupted his thoughts. "Hey kid," a man loomed over Qing, his foot resting heavily on the edge of the box. The man's tone was cold and commanding. "We will inventory all the outputs of this instance. If there is any hiding of magic crystals, not only will you lose a lot of money, but you will also go to jail. Understand?" Qing remained composed, nodding slightly. "Don't worry, boss. I've been doing this for many years, and I know the rules." As Qing turned back toward the portal, his mind drifted to the harsh reality of his job. The work of an Abyss picker is usually done by level 0 players. If the frontline combat team does not completely clear the monsters, the level 0 players in the rear are in danger of their lives. The portal's glow intensified as more adventurers appeared on the other side. It can be said that this job is exchanged for life. Coming back from the instance earns a salary of 300 yuan, and each picker can get 1,000th of the value of the trash picked, about 600 yuan. Deducting the intermediary fee of 30%, the net profit is 540 yuan. Qing glanced at his earnings. Now there is still 670,000 to pay off the debt. "I have to work harder," he muttered to himself, determination evident in his gaze. A familiar voice called out again. "Hey, kid named Yi. There's a big job with a 3,000 commission. Interested?" Qing's eyes widened. 3,000? Such a high commission? The man nodded. "You're always short of money, right? If you want to go, join the team immediately." Without hesitation, Qing stood up, adjusting his cap. Go. I'll get ready." Moments later, the bus rumbled down the road, carrying the adventurer team toward their next destination. The atmosphere inside was tense as the group discussed the mission. "The People Shopping Mall?" someone murmured. "Isn't that the instance that turned Abyss mentioned in the news just now? It's said to be graded as A." Another adventurer nodded solemnly. "No wonder the commission is so high. I heard that the previous team was completely wiped out. None of them came out. Is this another subcontract?" someone asked quietly. "Probably," came the grim reply. Qing sat silently, observing the others. His thoughts were interrupted as a man next to him whispered, "This time, in addition to clearing the instance, there is also an important task: to bring back the equipment of the previous team that was wiped out." The man sighed deeply. "Damn, these old capitalists are really ruthless, aren't they?" Yi Qing stared out the window, his expression unreadable. Who made these abysses all be managed by capital? He wondered aloud, lost in thought. His mind drifted back to 10 years ago, when the world changed forever. The Abyss Gate came from the void, tearing through reality and bringing with it unimaginable horrors. Creatures from the abyss appeared before people, their monstrous forms unlike anything humanity had ever seen. It soon became clear that only those who had transitioned, individuals who survived their first encounter with the abyss and gained special abilities, could harm abyss creatures. The ordinary, unarmed humans stood no chance. As monsters die, people discovered that the abyss not only contained magic crystals, an energy source, but also dropped various magical weapons and items. Thus, humanity, as if discovering a new continent for the second time, sparked a frenzy of abyss development. A large number of traditional companies went bankrupt, and the entire society's funds shifted towards the emerging market, the abyss industry. The harsh realities of life pressed on Yi Qing. At the hospital, a stern doctor addressed him coldly. The hospital is not a welfare institution. If you don't pay the fees, take your sister and leave. Yi Qing bowed his head, his voice trembling. I'm sorry. Please give me a few days. As he walked away, burdened by unpaid rent, an angry landlord pounded on his door. You stinky kid, open the door. You owe 2 months' rent. Desperately seeking work, Yi Qing approached a potential employer, but his hopes were dashed. Sorry, we don't need level 0 personnel, the man stated firmly, pushing aside Yi Qing's application. Rejected and shunned, he faced hostility at every turn. Get out. We don't need you here. Not needed. Get lost, waste. Go away. Under the relentless rain, Yi Qing sat on a bench, drenched and defeated. The papers around him were soaked, mirroring his crushed spirit. The employment situation was severe, especially for level 0 players who hadn't transitioned. They had basically become trash in society. A mysterious hand reached out, offering a card. The bold words read, "Small loans. Instant approval." As Yi Qing looked up, a shadowy figure loomed before him, a sinister smile playing on his lips. Young man, need money? Yi Qing's heart pounded as the man leaned in closer. The most valuable thing is your organs. Yi Qing sighed deeply, adjusting his cap as he glanced out the window. His mind drifted to the hardships he faced daily, but he quickly shook off the thoughts, focusing on the task ahead. I heard he borrowed 1 million in high-interest loans to speculate in stocks and lost everything. If he can't repay, he will have to sell his kidney, someone whispered on the bus. Yi Qing pulled his cap lower, hiding his expression. It seems that there is also a younger sister who depends on him. The medical expenses alone are so high every day, the voice continued, laced with pity and disdain. As the bus approached the glowing portal, the cracks in the pavement seemed to echo the weight of the burdens Yi Qing carried. Such people, it's better to die. But now he is burdened with too much and can only live like garbage for a lifetime, another passenger muttered. The bus came to a halt, and the adventurers began disembarking. You trash pickers are too slow, someone barked, their tones sharp and impatient. Sorry. Yi Qing and the others hurried to keep up, their steps quickening as they approached the towering portal. Just follow behind honestly. If you die, we won't take responsibility. The same voice warned, their words cold and indifferent. Hurry up, another yelled. The group pressed forward, the portal's energy pulsating with an ominous glow. Yi Qing glanced at the swirling portal, determination flickering in his eyes. This time, I also need to work hard to make money and come back alive, he murmured to himself, clutching his bag tightly. The adventurers stepped through the portal one by one. Dungeon, the people's shopping mall. B-grade abyss. The system notification echoed in Yi Qing's mind as he followed behind. It's my first time coming to a B-grade abyss, Yi Qing thought, his heart pounding with both fear and resolve as he stepped into the unknown. A tall, muscular man with a shield strapped to his back shouted as the group entered the dungeon. Don't let your guard down. Monsters can ambush you in any dark corner. His voice was firm. The sharp sound of footsteps echoed through the dungeon's floor. Suddenly, The eerie growls of wolves reverberated through the space. Lao Chun, the muscular man, shouted, "Damn! There are monsters as soon as we enter." Growling, red-eyed ghost wolves appeared, their teeth bared. "Got it," someone muttered nervously as they gripped their weapons tighter. "Just a group of level 1 ghost wolves," another adventurer shouted, trying to calm the group. With a swift motion, he stepped forward. Flames erupted from his palms, illuminating the dark hallway and burning the wolves in a flash. The wolves yelped in pain as a fireball exploded in their midst, reducing some to ashes. "Don't let your guard down," the shield-bearing man warned again. "Monsters can ambush you at any moment. Stay alert." "Where is our destination?" the bespectacled adventurer repeated, glancing at the others. "5th floor," Lao Chen answered, looking around cautiously. The atmosphere grew more tense with each step they took. "I don't know if it's an illusion, but the area of the 1st floor of this mall has increased by more than 5 times, and the height has increased by more than 3 times. Lao Chen continued, scanning the mutated surroundings. "This is the abyssalization," the bespectacled adventurer explained. "A replica created based on the appearance of the real world, but its internal structure has completely mutated." He adjusted his glasses thoughtfully. "Speaking of which, why did the previous team send and completely leave no information or bodies? Hey, you trash pickers, go find the bodies properly. Don't just follow like flies," someone barked, glaring at the group of pickers. Yi Qing followed behind, keeping his head down as Lao Chan tied his boots. "Tisk level 0 personnel, wherever they go, they're just fit to be trash," one of the adventurers sneered, shaking his head. Suddenly, Yi Qing tripped over something. His bag slipped from his shoulders as he fell to the ground. "Ah!" he yelped, startled. "Can't you walk properly?" "Damn it!" Lao Chan snapped, turning to see what had happened. Yi Qing scrambled to his feet, his face flushed with embarrassment. "I'm sorry," he stammered, avoiding eye contact. Lao Chen glared at him, his frustration boiling over. "Bumping into a pile of trash is really disgusting. I even thought it was a monster." "Lao Chen, don't stoop to the level of these trash pickers. We have a mission," the muscular man reminded him, his tone firm. Yi Qing struggled to catch his breath, his heart pounding in his chest. The words stung, but he bit his tongue, knowing he couldn't afford to retaliate. Lao Chen cast one last glare at Yi Qing before walking away. "Know that you're trash and get away from me," he spat, his voice cold and dismissive. Yi Qing gritted his teeth, pushing himself up from the ground. "You lowlife who looks down on others," he hissed under his breath, his hands trembling with suppressed anger. He sat on the floor for a moment, picking up his cap and dusting it off before placing it back on his head. "Is this the professional team you were talking about?" someone asked, their tone dripping with sarcasm. The derogatory term, trash, echoed in his mind as he rose to his feet. A burden to society, useless people. Trash. That was the label society had given to those who hadn't transitioned to higher levels. However, what they didn't know was that Yi Qing's experience points were 99/100, just 1 point away from reaching level 1. Determined, he walked down the corridor, the soft glow of his surroundings reflecting his resolve. "I just need 1 more point," he thought, clenching his fists. "Just 1 more point, and I'll leave this label behind." "It's a monster," a terrified voice broke the silence, followed by a frantic shout. Yi Qing froze, watching as the massive creature emerged from the darkness. "Is this the guy the front line missed?" he wondered aloud. The beast, a ghost wolf, snarled, its glowing eyes locking onto Yi Qing. Ghost wolf, low health. The system identified it. Yi Qing's mind raced. "This monster is the opportunity I've been waiting for," he thought, his heart pounding. Spotting a level 1 wooden shield and a level 1 wooden stick nearby, Yi Qing quickly grabbed them. The wolf lunged, jaw snapping. Low health, the system blared again. Yi Qing dodged to the side, the beast's fangs missing by inches. Isolated, the alert warned. The wolf snarled, circling him with predatory intent. Yi Qing steadied his breathing, clutching the shield and stick tightly. "This is it," he murmured, watching the wolf's every move. The wolf attacked again. Yi Qing raised his shield, absorbing the impact. then countered with a swift swing of his stick. Die, he roared, striking the wolf's head. The stick splintered slightly, but the wolf remained standing. 0 damage, the system noted, coldly reminding him of his weakness. Is Yi Qing an idiot? Someone muttered from afar. This kid has been reckless for more than just 1 or 2 days. Don't you know only transferees can damage monsters? Yi Qing grinned bitterly, his gaze never leaving the wolf. Of course, I know, he muttered. A screen appeared before him, listing his stats. Name, Yi Qing. Level 0. Strength, 1. Agility, 1. Intelligence, 1. Will, 1. Constitution, 1. Luck, 1. The wolf lunged again. Yi Qing barely dodged, sweat dripping down his brow. I'm well aware of this more than anyone else, he shouted, determination flaring in his eyes. He grit his teeth, the wolf advancing again. With such weak attributes, I can't even break through the weakest monster's defense, he thought bitterly. He charged forward, shield raised high. It's because I know this clearly, he thought, jumping into the air. His foot connected with the wolf's head, knocking it off balance. He swung his stick again, putting all his strength behind the blow. Lao Chen stood proudly over the defeated wolves. Those level 0 players would be scared stiff even if they saw a low-health monster, he said, his voice dripping with disdain. His companion held up a crystal with a smirk. We can easily make a fortune by casually killing a few monsters. They have no way to deal with monsters, truly deserving of being lowly trash. Walking through the dungeon, Lao Chun surveyed the glowing items. We'll pick up the most valuable treasures, leave the rest to the scavengers. Call those trash over to clean up, he instructed, his eyes gleaming with greed. The hooded woman pointed to the corridor. Hey boss, it looks like a monster got passed over there, she informed, her tone calm but alert. Suddenly, a panicked voice echoed. It's a monster! Run! The group scrambled, shadows flickering ominously across the walls. Lao Chen rolled his eyes at the chaos. Just as the boss said, it's a real pain in the ass. I'll clean it up, he muttered, reaching for a glowing card. I need that purple equipment. No one dare to compete with me, he added with a grin. Above them, the ceiling cracked, debris falling with a loud crash. Yi Qing, face to face with the wolf, braced himself as the floor trembled beneath him. Yi Qing launched himself at the wolf, his stick swinging with desperate energy. The wolf retaliated, slamming him hard. Blood splattered, and he gritted his teeth. I absolutely will not die like trash, he roared, his voice echoing in defiance. With renewed determination, Yi Qing delivered a critical hit. The system notification flashed. Critical hit, dealing 1 damage. The wolf staggered, finally collapsing. Yi Qing knelt by the fallen wolf, panting heavily. His laughter, raw and triumphant, filled the air as he clenched his fists. Footsteps approached. Lao Chen stepped over the debris, smirking. Oh, taking down a low-level wolf all by yourself, trying to be a hero? He taunted. Are you trying to show off? Are you tired of living? Lao Chen's sneer deepened, grabbing Yi Qing by the collar. We didn't spend money to buy your corpse. Yi Qing met his gaze with fierce determination. There's more than one path to transferring, he said. When accumulated experience reaches level 1, even level 0 individuals can trigger the transfer and have an easier time drawing hidden classes. A visual of hidden classes appeared before Yi Qing. To achieve this goal, one must find a way to gain the experience needed for leveling up, which is harder than reaching the sky for a level 0 individual who can't damage monsters. The narration continued. Years of risking their lives, finding flaws, and dealing at least 1 point of damage with critical hits played through Yi Qing's mind as he saw percentages increase. 4%, 7%, 10%, all the way to 99%. With a final thrust, he saw a notification, 3%, a little accumulation. The system declared, co-op kill. You dealt 1 damage to the ghost wolf. You share 1 experience point. Finally, a glowing 100% appeared before him. This is my only way to gain experience, Yi Qing whispered, his voice filled with resolve. The system chimed. Condition met. His lips curved into a smile, blood dripping from his mouth. The final notification flashed. System. Your experience points 99/100, 100/100. Level up condition met. Lao Chen's shocked face came into view. You actually leveled up, he exclaimed, disbelief etched into his features. Yi Qing's body glowed with newfound energy. His tattered clothes billowed in the surge of power, and he felt a deep sense of accomplishment wash over him. Standing amidst the carnage, a new label appeared above Yi Qing's head, Scavenger. Level 1, max level. Lao Chen's eyes widened in shock as he saw the transformation before him. He struggled to process what had just happened. You actually leveled up by leeching experience? He stammered, disbelief etched across his face. Lao Chun gritted his teeth. Trash. Even after transferring, still stinky scavengers. What kind of crap transfer is this, a scavenger? And the max level is only 1. Unable to contain himself any longer, Lao Chen burst into laughter. Sorry, I just couldn't hold it in. Life's one and only most precious opportunity, and you transferred into a scavenger, a job that's literally trash. It's a match made in heaven. Stepping closer, Lao Chun grabbed Yi Qing by the collar. Listen up, level 1 scavenger. Now that your buddies are gone, the cleaning task is now solely yours. Yi Qing remained silent, his gaze never wavering as he met Lao Chen's mocking eyes. His thoughts raced. Scavenger? Is it weak? If the max level of Scavenger is 1, then there's no way to gain attribute growth through leveling up. His hand tightened into a fist as he considered the implications. But what is the Scavenger's ability exactly? He wondered, his mind piecing together the possibilities. A surge of light drew Yi Qing's attention. The ghostly remains of the defeated wolf glowed ominously. His eyes shimmered with a faint blue glow, reflecting the light from the corpse. A new notification appeared before him, reading, Found recyclable trash. Low-level ghost wolf corpse. Yi Qing stared at the glowing message in front of him, the word recycle appearing in bold letters. Without hesitation, he whispered yes. A blinding burst of purple energy engulfed the room, and shadowy ghostly hands danced around Yi Qing. The notification clarified the phenomenon, declaring, The scavenger's skill? Yi Qing took a step back, observing as the wolf's remains dissolved in a black mist. The mist swirled around Yi Qing, making him uneasy. Feels a bit scary, he muttered, watching the dark energy linger in the air. The last remnants of the wolf's body disappeared into the shadows, dragging Yi Qing's gaze along with it. A new notification appeared, showing the process underway. Garbage decomposition in progress. Moments later, the screen changed to read, Decomposition completed. 2 ghostly hands gave a peace sign as the process ended. Suddenly, a glowing card appeared in front of him. The notification read, You obtained Soul Sprint and 3 points of assignable attributes. Looking at the card in his hands, Yi Qing whispered, Can you pick up cards and freely assign attributes from corpses? The system responded to his thought, displaying his attribute panel. Open System Attribute Panel. The panel showed his current stats, all at level 1. Yi Qing focused on the attribute points he just gained. A prompt appeared above the card. Requires 3 agility to use. Yi Qing raised an eyebrow. 3 agility? He quickly made his decision. Then allocate the 3 free attribute points to agility, he commanded. A notification confirmed his choice. You have met the prerequisite for using Ghost Wolf, and do you want to use it? Yi Qing nodded and whispered firmly, Use. Green energy surged around him as he activated the card's power. His eyes glowed faintly as he absorbed the energy. With a deep breath, Yi Qing felt a new strength coursing through him. His gaze sharpened, and his resolve solidified. Yi Qing stared at his glowing hands, a green aura surrounding him. Confused, he muttered, Is that it? No effect. A sharp voice from the hall broke his thoughts. Hurry up and come clean up, someone yelled, prompting Yi Qing to respond quickly yes, without hesitation. His foot stomped hard on the ground, sending a sharp crack through the floor. The vibration echoed as if awakening something beneath. Suddenly, Yi Qing's body surged forward without warning. his legs moving faster than he could comprehend. He let out a surprised scream as he realized he had instinctively activated the soul sprint ability. Without thinking, Yi Qing stumbled forward, his foot catching on a stump as his body surged with unexpected speed. His instincts took over, and he moved faster than he ever thought possible, eyes wide with surprise. From the upper levels, metal beams crashed down. The sound of destruction echoed in the vast hall. Yi Qing landed heavily, his body trembling from the impact. Gasping for air, he asked himself, was that a skill just now? As he lay there, a glowing notification hovered above him, reading, Soul Sprint. Cooling down, Yi Qing smirked faintly, realizing, as expected, the skill is on cooldown. Letting out a sigh of relief, he sat up, rubbing his sore neck. The exhaustion was evident, but his determination remained strong. His eyes sharpened with focus as he stared ahead, thinking about what his next move would be. His eyes widened in surprise as his gaze fell on several wolf corpses scattered before him, each labeled with a glowing notification. Found recyclable trash. Bewildered, he muttered. Not only can you pick up attributes, you can also recover monster abilities? This is the unique ability of a level 1 scavenger, whose max level is only 1. The air around him suddenly grew darker. Purple energy swirled, manifesting ghostly hands reaching out toward him. The word echoed in his mind, Scavenger. Yi Qing watched in amazement as multiple glowing notifications appeared, one after another. You have gained 4 attribute points to allocate. You have gained 3 attribute points to allocate. The pattern repeated, and a final notification read, Salvage. As he processed what was happening, a new notification popped up. You have gained 1 attribute point to allocate. Curiously, Yi Qing glanced at the glowing orb in his hand. Are these still attribute points? He wondered aloud. After that, devouring the same type of corpse no longer grants new ability, and the rewards for salvaging a large number of corpses of the same type gradually decrease. He mused. Excited hands reached toward him, spectral figures animated with enthusiasm. There's more trash over there, Yi Qing directed with a playful grin, feeling a newfound enthusiasm for his scavenging ability. You have gained 1 attribute point to allocate, a notification confirmed, adding to his growing pool of points. Allocatable points, 111, it read. Name, Yi Qing level. 1 max profession, Scavenger. Strength 1. Agility 4. Intelligence 1. Willpower 1. Constitution 1. Luck 1. Yi Qing's gaze locked on the numbers. The allocatable points have accumulated to 111, he marveled. His mind raced with possibilities. What attribute should I add? He pondered, eyes fixed on the glowing screen. Smirking, he added, looks like I won't be short of attribute points in the future. His lips curled into a grin. Why not just? He trailed off before making a decisive gesture. Instantly, the notifications updated. Your strength has increased. Your agility has increased. Your intelligence has increased. Your willpower has increased. Your constitution has increased. Your luck has increased. The screen refreshed, displaying his updated stats. Name, Yi Qing level. 1 max profession, Scavenger. Strength 20. Agility 20. Intelligence 20. Willpower 20. Constitution 20. Luck 20. With newfound confidence, Yi Qing stood tall. The rumbling of battle echoed in the distance. Just these 2 left, a voice yelled from above as 2 ghostly figures locked in combat with monstrous wolves. Yi Qing observed the chaos, his eyes catching the savage jaws of a wolf snapping fiercely at the... Are you saying that guy has become a scavenger? One of the onlookers questioned with disbelief. Another man, dripping with sweat, nodded grimly. This is a hidden class that's not even in the big career change table. A man with glasses sneered, his reflective lenses hiding his true expression. TSK, there are hidden classes written into the big career change table every year, but the rankings for the most valuable careers have hardly changed. Most of these so-called hidden classes are just for laughs. Lao Chun, glancing at Yi Qing with a skeptical look, muttered, considering his maximum level is only 1. At most he's an F rank, just slightly stronger than a level 0 person, even no change at all. The leader of the group, holding a massive shield and sword, gritted his teeth. Ignore him. Let's continue forward, he commanded with a growl. Stay vigilant, he added, as the group cautiously advanced through the eerie corridor. The group below approached a twisted, monstrous tree-like creature with tentacles writhing ominously. The leader took a cautious step forward, his grip tightening on his sword as he assessed the grotesque figure before them. The mission target has been found, one of the group members confirmed with a grim nod. It's the leader of the Falcon Eye Hunting Group, Eagle Eye. Confused, another member questioned, Mound? How come there's a mound in this shopping mall? This is the 5th floor, after all. Approaching one of the desiccated bodies on the ground, the man with glasses inspected it closely. The time for abyssification here does not exceed 48 hours in total. Yet the bodies have dried up to this extent, he muttered, perplexed. Was the essence squeezed out by some kind of magic? The hooded woman in the group stood silently, her eyes scanning the scene with suspicion. We've only encountered low-level ghost wolves along the way, she pointed out, her voice calm but wary. But they're the B+ rank Falcon Eye Hunting Group. Isn't it strange that they all died here? Suddenly, the man with glasses widened his eyes in shock. His heart thumped heavily when he noticed something moving in the shadows. From the dark corners of the abyss, grotesque creatures emerged, their skull-like faces adorned with twisted horns. More appeared, shambling toward the group. Meanwhile, an urgent news report flickered on the city monitors. Urgent message. There's an abyssification in the Shangfeng City People's Mall. Preliminary inference is B-grade mutation. Currently, 217 missing people. The message trailed off, and the chilling reality set in. The leader's voice boomed with authority. Everyone retreat, he barked, raising his shield to prepare for a counterattack. It's an ambush, Lao Chan yelled in frustration, his hands trembling. We've been tricked. The man with the shield cursed under his breath. His eyes darted toward the monstrous creatures encircling them. The low-level monsters along the way were just bait to lure us deeper. Suddenly, a towering figure, its tentacle-like roots stretching outward menacingly. The monstrous figure loomed, exuding an overwhelming presence. The true master of this abyss. The leader whispered, horror dawning on his face. A notification blinked into view, labeling the creature, high-level hell, devouring flower, almost A-grade. Approaching one of the desiccated bodies on the ground, Lao Chin inspected it closely. The time for abyssification here does not exceed 48 hours in total. Yet the bodies have dried up to this extent, he muttered, perplexed. Was the essence squeezed out by some kind of magic? We've only encountered low-level ghost wolves along the way, but they're the B+ rank Falcon Eye Hunting Group. Isn't it strange that they all died here, an environment that had drained life essence? The bodies left dry husks. He whispered to himself, what kind of monster could do this? Lao Chen's sharp voice cut through the tension. Look up there, he shouted, pointing at the ceiling as shadows moved ominously. Before they could react, the dried bodies of the Falcon Eye Hunting Group suddenly sprang to life, their eyes glowing with an eerie purple light. One of the members screamed, the Falcon Eye Hunting Group has all come back to life. Meanwhile, Yi Qing crouched by the corpses of ghost wolves, carefully salvaging parts. The system notifications flashed before him. Salvage the severed ghost wolf. Salvage the charred ghost wolf. As he collected more materials, another notification appeared. Achievement Novice Scavenger achieved. Salvage 50 corpses. Yi Qing chuckled to himself, amused by the system. Achievement unlocked, he muttered, glancing at the glowing notification. A new message popped up. You will receive a reward. Curious and excited, Yi Qing watched as a card materialized before him. The glowing green card revealed a weapon. A plain dagger. Level 1, the system announced. Yi Qing's expression flattened as he inspected the dagger. Requires level 1? This profession even gives junk-quality rewards for achievements. Quite interesting, he said sarcastically, a tired look on his face. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the building. The ground beneath Yi Qing shook violently. and he glanced around nervously. His heart raced as he stared at the shaking walls and ceiling. The sound grew louder, and his eyes widened in shock. "What's that?" he whispered, frozen in place as an ominous shadow loomed over him. A monstrous figure emerged, charging toward him with terrifying speed. Yi Qing's heart pounded as he instinctively dodged to the side, narrowly avoiding the creature's deadly claws. Trigger agility check 20, perfect dodge, the system noted. Yi Qing landed with a thud, his breathing ragged. "Damn it, scared me. I thought I was going to die." He gasped, his adrenaline surging. But something felt different. His movements were more fluid, his reactions quicker. "However, I feel more agile," he realized. "Is it because of the added attribute points?" Clenching his fist, Yi Qing's lips curled into a determined smile. "It seems I've really become stronger."